Hey, what's going on, everybody? Man, it's a wonderful night if you're a WNBA fan. Um, just knocked out the 2021 WNBA Draft. Interesting 3 rounds. Following along on social media, watching it as well. We weren't alone in some of the decisions and how things played out. But Cardell Dudley Jr. is here. I'm Wilson. Tarpey Jr., we're going to take some time to just go through, just real quickly, initial reactions to tonight's draft. There's going to be time in the coming weeks where we really dive into what the season's going to look like with the WNBA from a team perspective. All I can say off the early, these training camp battles are going to be glorious. We've seen in over our time covering the league, we've seen one of the tough things in the WNBA is not like other leagues where first and second round picks you feel a little bit of security in terms of maybe your roster spot. It's not like that in this league. Regardless of where you drafted, it's tough. You might have a little protection as the first or second overall pick, but there's only 12 teams deep. There's only so many spots. One of the things that happened this past year in this COVID year, you had some big guns on a lot of teams, opted out the season to be coming back. There's just not enough roster spots. This is why a lot of folks covering the league been asking for expansion, all that. That said, Cardell, we went through you, myself, and Ray went through our 2021 mock draft on Monday. What did you think of tonight's draft, man?
Either the GMs are very smart and coaches are very smart, or they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's how it's gonna be. We're gonna see soon, man. But it was a lot. This draft was a lot of shockers. It was a lot of once you got past the first, I say 3 picks, because we figured that Carly and AWR was gonna go 1 or 2.
Yep.
And Ari was gonna be up there top 5 somewhere. Once we got past those 3, it was just chaos, man. Like players, you kind of saw maybe they'd be a second round or late first round. They had some mock drafts like Aaliyah Wilson. They had her going in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? So, and here they are in the first round and stuff like that. And you could tell everyone was shocked, man. Because even I saw Natasha Mack's interview, and she's pissed. She was just. You can clearly see when she said what she said. She just like it's people that went in the first round that are not better than me, but we gonna, I'll see them later on. And then that's how it is. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of players that feel the way. And there's players that went in the second round you didn't see going at all. And that's the beauty of the draft. You don't know. So like I say, either these GMs know, they got the jobs for a reason. Either they know the staff, front office staff, either they're sharp as hell, or it's gonna be a lot of job openings after next year. Let's just call it what it is, man. And special shout out to Kiana Towson. I know she was drafted last in the 3rd round to come out the CAA and local product, average 23 a game this year, point guard. And she's actually been torching everybody throughout her career, man. Gave Maryland 28 to kind of give you perspective what she's capable of. She's got drafted by Las Vegas. I think that's a good spot for her to try to earn on the spot because Lambier's old school. She go in there and bust heads open. He's going to keep her. He don't care. So, want to give her a shout out. But yeah, it's just shocker, man. That's what I could take from the draft. Just Teacher Pinachero, the legend. She tweeted out, which was appropriate. She said, "Your mock draft's looking like your NCAA tournament bracket, isn't it?" You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's just is in flames. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah, and I know some people are trying to rationalize it, and I'm kind of with you. It was just chaos, right? And I also think this is going to be the theme of not only this year and the next couple of years in professional sports in drafts, regardless of the sport. It's going to be chaos. It's
because of COVID.
Because yes, I don't think people truly understand how much of the processes got jacked up, which then affects the typical flow of information. And again, this is the thing where, again, this is not knocking any one team. And again, this is bigger than just tonight because, we got the NFL draft in, less than 20 days or whatever. And there's going to be some head scratches over there too. In the 7th round to that nonsense. All organizations and front offices aren't created equal. And you've been saying this for like the last almost year. We gonna find out who scouts are hitting on what. Like really hitting on what.
Absolutely. No,
And that's
absolutely. Yeah.
go ahead.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, man. You're gonna see who can identify talent. Like you said, you can't get in the gyms. You couldn't get in the gyms, especially for the international players like Shyla, and you know what I mean. AWOC's different because her talent just blows you away. It's just, I mean, you have to be a complete novice at the game not to see her talent. That's different. But like, you see her play like Shyla, Stephanie Watts sneaking up in the first round, stuff like that. You just didn't eat. Even Jasmine Walker going seventh, man. You didn't really see that happening. Gonzik, that going fourth. Look, man, it was just surprises all around, man. You know what I mean? So the one thing I look at this draft that, if you had to ask me to sum it up in one word, is versatility.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what position you gotta be versatile to be able to play multiple positions, even though you're technically by your size talented to be one position. If you're a point guard, you're gonna have to play off the ball. If you're a wing, you're gonna have to get to 2 and a 3, you're gonna have to score, you're gonna have to play make, you're gonna have to do a lot of things. If you're a 4, you're gonna have to bang with centers and all that. And if you're a center, guess what? You're gonna have to get on the perimeter and guard. And step out there and hit some jumpers and hit threes and stuff eventually. You want to do those things as well as do the inside work and whatnot. So, the teams like the Mystics that didn't have a draft pick, I'm sure they're very happy. They were just sitting back, chilling. It's no stress at all. They know what they got. And, it's just go time. It is what it is, man. Get ready for training camp. But, yeah, I'm interested. I would love to be in the training camps, honestly, to see who's
Man. I want like the what's it called? Is it Hard Knocks in NFL? I want that for all the training camps this year.
That's actually a good idea.
Like someone plugged in WNBA Hard Knocks. You already got people feeling some type of way after draft night. We need the training camp video. Just don't even blurt anything out outside of play calls. Like let it happen because there's going to be wars out here. And like you said. At least in the first round, I just want to ask your thoughts. We'll go round by round. Just, like what you said about the versatility, I just want to jump in on that. And I think for a lot of folks that are kind of new to the WNBA, a lot of folks that you saw with the ball in their hands for 3 or 4 years, everybody doesn't get that right moving on. You're going to have to get used to getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. I know it's cliches, but like for real, you're not going to have the rock like that. It's seldom that you come out of college and your usage stays the same. You got to be different for that to happen. So I mean, that's it's gonna be fun. But in the first round, just gotta mention.
Piggyback off you real quick. I'm interested to see how some of these picks defend at the WNBA level because
man,
point guard at the WNBA level is not. It's a lot of little guards that got drafted. Little guards. It's a lot of point guards across the league. 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. They can move like you or better than you, and physically bigger. You don't really have an advantage, man. So it's gonna be like we saw what Avery Ladder did when she came here to DC and stuff like that. You don't normally see smaller guards dominate like that. I'm interested to see if any of them will be able to do that, but you're going to have to guard your position, man. And some of these names not going to really go there. It's a beautiful night, but some of these names, watching them in college, they weren't lockdown defenders in college. So how is that going to translate now to the WNBA with it's so much physical? The efficiency is so much better, man. If you make a mistake, it's not a question if you're burnt. You're burnt already. It's just you just watching somebody score on you. That's how quick it is, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, man.
Yeah, and that was one of the things we continue to touch back and forth. And the thing jumping out of our minds is, do people understand these people have to stop people? Because, man, some of the places where people were going and they were joining other people that are already in the league that have the same issue. And that's going to be tough. You got, like, some of these guards going to end up, like, you're going to have Chelsea Gray days. Those aren't going to be fun days, right? Those.
Yeah, Tasha Cloud, Kelsey.
Yes.
Kelsey's evil.
Yes, Kelsey Mitchell. Yes.
She don't care. She's a bully, you know. Ogubuwale is another one. She's vicious. Look, I hope they understand, man. Look, it's all good. They support the ladies coming in and all that, but it's different between those lines. All that smiling will be gone. Don't let it fool you. So it's gonna be fun to see, man. Like I keep saying.
And then just wanted to make sure I acknowledge Seattle, after drafting Aaliyah Wilson, they shipped her in a trade to Indiana for Kennedy Burke's contract. Just wanted to make sure that we don't have it on screen. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. But in the first round, one of the things I was interested in, we were talking the other night. I like Rupert to Vegas. It's something where it's not needed like in terms of right away, but having another big like that, potentially going forward. Because we've seen in the past with them, and she's a little bit different than the two that they have.
Right.
So I definitely like that. I kind of like Michaela Onyenwere to New York, where it's a place where we know what Coach Walt's trying to do out there, the versatility, like you said, and her freaking 1% athleticism that she has, getting up and down. That's one of those type of players where you're playing with a point guard, a willing passer like Sabrina, where just running the floor you're gonna get buckets. You want to share any other good fits you liked in the first round?
I keep going back to the Ari, to Atlanta.
Yeah. I think Cardell will be back in just a minute. It's technology, man. We've all been going through it just a little. But if anybody's tuning in, let us know what you thought about the first round of the WNBA draft, because we thoroughly enjoyed it. But go ahead, Cardell. I know you back.
Yeah, the R and the Kennedy backcourt. No, because they could be dynamic. Because they could be dynamic. Like, don't get it twisted. They small, but they could be hell. It could be all right. For a good example, comparing it on the men's side, remember the 2001 All-Star game when Marbury and AI went off together in the backcourt?
Yes.
Both fans getting in the pass lane, but they was torching and stuff. And they came back and won the West. They could be that version. Like they could possibly be that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see how they fit first. You know what I mean? Because they're very similar. I think Ari is more of a pure point that can score. I think Kennedy's more of a scorer that can run point.
Right.
So that's the dynamic they're gonna have to figure out. But one thing about Ari I do love, when she puts her mind to it, she can lock you up. Like, she can make it hard for you to dribble. And I think that's what they're gonna lean on early for her in her career. She's gonna have to be a pest and get a lot of these point guards, get up in them, make it difficult for them to get cross half court and start the offense and whatnot. And then with Kennedy doing what she's doing and stuff like that, being able to score and playmaking and all that, and art, it could be a beautiful match, but it can also be where they too small. We want to mix this up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing that kind of jumped out at me.
Yeah, and kind of just to share on that, I think that now even now after the draft, it's even more of looking at what they went out and did in free agency in terms of bringing in some of those versatile players that can defend wings. Some of their versatile bigs now that can defend wings as well in the post. If you are going to jump out there with that front that backcourt, you're going to have to lean on their teammates, because people are going to try to exploit those mismatches. But yeah, I like that. I definitely like where you're going with that, because it definitely could be special. But there's that fine line there too, especially on the other end, because they can't, as a group, those two, if they're going to be out there together, they cannot afford to slack defensively at all.
Because think about it, they in the East, okay? So they're going to play, let's say they're playing the Mystics. That's potentially Tasha Cloud and GR possibly in the backcourt. You know what I mean? That's 6 feet. They can do everything. And, Cloud, last time we saw her, obviously she didn't play last year. She added a post game. I mean, she improved every year as a shooter, but she added a post game. And she's one of the better defender playmakers. So she was already that in the league. So now you got a smaller guard on her. She just going to the block. and you're gonna have to come and double. Otherwise, she just gonna do damage down there,
They
especially
were,
with the shooters she having around her and stuff like that. So
they were posting Atkins last year a little bit in the
I
bubble.
forgot about
Yeah.
her. Yeah,
They were posting her as well. So yeah, that's just the tough part right there. But Cheryl Reeves is always doing it again. Renea Davis, another one of those. Just I love the fit. Minnesota continues to get richer. It's somebody who could play with any lineup that she comes up with. Like we're talking about her versatility, especially on the defensive end, scoring all 3 levels. It's just a really nice fit. And you mentioned Charlotte Hill, and that's one of the things where we've seen a couple of times all these foreign players that have already been playing pro, got some reps playing pro. In years like this, I'm interested to see if this is a trend that continues not only this year and next year with how everything's been where we were talking earlier this year. But all right, we'll go to round 2. If you have nothing else for round 1, slide to round 2 because round 2 was round 2 could possibly go down in history as one of those rounds when we look back like what happened, who came out of round 2 and why. Like we're like from 1 through 12 in round 2, it doesn't even get light, right? You start with Dana Evans to Dallas, and we saw what they got in round 1, but again, that's not exactly a bad thing to get. Training camp's going to be tough. The Aces get Destiny Slocum, a different type of guard for them, obviously on the smaller side a little bit, but more of a with Chelsea Gray leaving, I think is more of a natural playmaker. Then, like, I know Plum's done a good job in trying to get better at that. You got Raquel Carrera from overseas. The Sky getting Natasha Mack.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, man.
That's a first round player.
Yeah. Like, this is somebody with multiple 19-19 games, multiple 20-20 games, along with 3, 4, 5, like multiple average 4 blocks in college. Like, that shouldn't be there in the second round. So about somebody 6'4", whatever, athletic, 7-foot wingspan, that shouldn't be there. All right, followed by Dede Richards. Again, talking about what New York likes, I thought that was a freaking steal getting Dede right there. Because ideally, what you get a whole 6'2" secondary playmaker on the floor and things you can just move all around, and we know what she brings to the table defensively. And with everything you got around her, it's not why she can't score. It's not like you're gonna be like, hey, you have to score for us. Bring to the table what you do with your defensive playmaking. It will be all right. Kiana Williams to Seattle. They bolstered their backcourt. They went backcourt. Unique Thompson, Connecticut goes Dejanay Carrington.
Yeah.
And then Michaela Kelly, which people aren't aware about Michaela Kelly. I'm not saying this is what she's going to be immediately, but folks remember how annoying Courtney Williams was as a bucket coming off the bench for Connecticut. She potentially could be that type of scorer. Like, she is a bucket. So they go back to back there. Arella Grante slides and ends up in Los Angeles.
That's probably the biggest shock for me.
Yeah. All the way down to 10 in the second round, which is absurd. And Dia Jones goes 11 to Seattle. And then Trinity Baptiste from Arizona to the Fever. I want to hear what your thoughts on this second round. I felt like I was talking too much.
Well, I definitely love it. I mess with Dede Richards a lot. I feel like I honestly feel like she would have won in the first round, like I said, if it wasn't for her injury.
Right.
Her being temporarily paralyzed. I think that scared a few teams, but she's ideal, man. The only thing she got at is a jumper, and it's a wrap. I love her tenacity on defense. Obviously her playmaking. I don't think people understand her size, man. When you 6'1", 6'2" as a point guard, WNBA, that's like an equivalent of being in the NBA being like 6'10". Ben Simmons playing point. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough, man. And she's competitive. She's tough, obviously. So I think she'll help, man. She'll help take the pressure off Ionescu, and Ionescu can at times be more of a scorer. She can focus on that aspect or whatnot, and it just bolsters their backcourt because they have a lot of bigs, promising bigs that they can, go to, especially with Natasha Howard there. They got somebody that they can count on night in and night out, 20 and 10, guaranteed. And we've been saying this for years. If you don't have one of those bigs, you don't have a chance. What else you got? Like, you got to have a versatile big that can kill from all over, picking pops, inside, outside, create on their own, post up. You gotta have that, or you just don't have a chance.
At least one of them.
Yeah. And you start to see more of them be coveted in the draft. Like, look at it. We in the first 2 rounds. It looked like it's about a good majority of the players selected in the top first 2 rounds are those potential caliber bigs, including the first 2 picks. You know what I mean? So you got to have that, man. And then it's not enough just to have one. You have to have multiple, or you still don't have a chance, because one can get in foul trouble, get injured, and then you're done. And that's what I feel like this draft was about. It was about adding depth. Got ladies that can come in and hoop and bolster your roster. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. Last year, Seattle won, they were deep. The year before, the Mystics won it, they were deep. You know what I'm saying? The year prior to that, when Seattle won it, when they beat the Mystics, they were deep, man. So you got to have depth, man. And I think that's what people saying this is a weak draft. I don't look at it this way. I just feel like it's some strong role players. You're going to have a couple stars emerge, of course, but it's just strong. It's deep in rotation players that can make an impact. And people love to determine drafts by who going to be stars, but the majority of the league aren't stars. That might be, it's 144 players, so that might be the top 10 players are stars. The rest are just top-notch rotation players. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Didi Richards definitely is one that jump out. Destiny Slocum, we all saw what she did at Maryland. It was a magical freshman year. To this day, I haven't seen many freshmen come in and just tear it up like that. We were both at the game when Maryland played UConn. Man, sold out can be at Comcast, or Xfinity now. And she put on a show, man. Then obviously she transferred a couple of spots and whatnot, so she kind of got off the national radar a bit. But we all know what she could be, man. And playing with Las Vegas with those bigs and stuff, yeah. I can't remember her name, man. She got a style similar to an old girl from years back. You know who I'm talking about.
What team?
Thing, man.
I could try to help.
She played on a few teams. She was a flashy passer. I think she was Native American.
You talk about oh my gosh. I know exactly you talk about Schimmel.
There you go. Got the same style, same flashy style that Schimmel had, but I think she could shoot better than Schimmel and whatnot, and score. Because even Desi, I remember her from the Jordan Classic. She put on a show in New York. You know how New York like that type of flair, so she got that flair. So Cambodge and Asia about to just be eating easy. When she get in the game, like they gonna just be ready to catch and shoot. It's gonna be there. So she knows what she's doing, man. So. And Arella, if you look at the first round and what the Sparks have done, you can see that clearly they're trying to get players that kind of replace what you can't really do it, but fit the mold of what Candace and Chelsea brought. You know what I mean? So, it's just tough, man, how they go.
Yeah, and what you were saying about Destiny, I also think it might be the, maybe not initially, but as she gets comfortable, Kelsey Plum's gonna love it. Gonna play a little bit more off ball, and like similar to what you were talking about earlier, where when you talk about Atlanta, you got one of them who's a little bit more natural playmaker, one who's a little more innately a scorer. It might make it might unlock things for Plum a little bit, where she's had to work hard to improve being a playmaker and running a team and whatnot. And at times, if you can play them together and get away with it, like their front line's big enough where you can get away with it.
And you can't forget about Jackie Young with the Aces.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like how what leap is she gonna make this year? She's the key. And Kelsey Plum coming back. Like Kelsey Plum was always a strong defender, and she added her 3-point shot. No, my bad. She developed as a defender. She became a strong defender under Lambert, but she always knocked down the 3 once she found a role and not. So she can kind of slide into that McBride role And that would create a lane for Destiny to possibly be the starting floor general if she's ready. You know what I'm saying? So, but they added Chelsea Gray as well, so she going, the backup. I mean, like I said, man, and you got Hamby there, man. I mean,
Yes.
and I
The
forgot about
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah, and the Angel.
Bro, man, being not playing, that's what I'm saying, man. Like it's gonna be furniture moving this season. It's
But
called
like,
what it is.
and again, I don't like continue to bring things up, but again, we're gonna keep harping on this depth thing. We watched teams last year where their bench made the playoffs. Their depth made a playoff run.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let that sink in. Somebody's depth went through a compressed season and made a playoff run. If they had one of their big guns, it's a different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a couple teams like that. We saw Seattle within the last couple of years down to their depth because of injuries. They weren't an easy out for folks. That was annoying. Like you said, now you got Natasha in New York. That's gonna be crazy. Yeah, man. The second round, I love the fits for the second round and the opportunities. And I wish the best to the first round picks on the teams with some of these second round picks. Training camp's going to be nuts.
And think about it, bro. Like I brought up Varela because of the Sparks. I don't think people understand that roster because they don't get spoken about year round like the men's side. Christie's coming back. Possible. You got Brittany Sykes. We all know she can explode for good 20 to 30. Still got TRP there. Obviously, you got Agumake, arguably the best big in the league when she's on her game. Erica Wheeler, she can fill it up. Briones, you got Ted Cooper. Nia Coffey, she was coming on strong. Obviously, you got Simone. I know she's at the end of her career, but like Diana, they still can figure out ways to get it done.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like these rookies don't have to come in and set the world on fire. They can learn, but they're still gonna be counting on to make an impact, and they're gonna be motivated. You know what I'm saying? Because they roll up.
All right, on to round 3. We got Valerie Higgins, Chelsea Perry. Now, we both like Chelsea Perry. We talk about her on the mock draft on Monday. Lindsay Pulliam, shout out to her as well. Ivana Rocca, Marion Fatou, Leah Goodman, Florencia Chagas, Sierra Johnson, Maya Caldwell, Ayana Ayoso, Natalie Kukwaski, and Towson's Kiana Jeter. What do you think about the third round? Some of these names I think some of us had in the second round when we did our mock, but where they actually went on Chaos Night, aka tonight, the WNBA Draft.
Leslie Pulliam to the dream. I mean, that's that.
They loading up.
They try to have an evil training camp battle. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be evil. Kiana Jeter again. Destiny, she's there. Kiana Jeter. I know people may not know outside of our area here in the DMV. She's a bucket. She averaged 23, like I said, and she put 28 on Maryland. Maryland for sure has about good 3 or 4 future pros on their team for sure.
One of these next couple drafts, yeah,
down the line for sure. So he could boogie with the best of them, man. You know what I mean? So she get a shot. Like I keep saying, man, I like a lot of the coaches in the WNBA because they just keep the best players. They let you decide. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're gonna do the political thing. You played at a big name school, we gonna keep you. Nah, look, we don't have time for that. Like we gotta win or we out of here. Either you can play, or you can't. And they get the opportunity. But Lindsay Pulliam, I'm definitely interested to see how she feel with the dream because they're loading in the backcourt. So something's gonna have to give, man. I definitely think she's good enough to play in the league, especially with her physical style, the way she can make plays, and she has one of the best mid-range games in all of college basketball. So you can always use that.
Yeah, and I like the fact that not only she's a willing defender, but a capable defender. When we were talking about a kickoff, this thing, it's going to be hard to kick off, like to knock people off your roster that can keep people in front of them. Then you add what she does offensively. She's going to be a tough cut if they do cut her. Like again, these training camp wars are going to be a problem because unlike some 3-and-D players, she can score. She can it's not a hey, I can hit an open shot. And she's a bucket. She's a well-rounded guard. It was her and another young lady at Northwestern did a great job leading them. and some wars with some good Big Ten teams. Leah Gilman could definitely shoot. You see what Connecticut's focus on. They got their big gun coming back this year. They lost AT, but John Queller's back this year.
But Alyssa got hurt.
Yeah, AT's out.
That's
but
wild card, yeah.
So it sucks because they're not both together, but sheesh.
Look, I'm looking at the Atlanta Dreams roster. Guards is going into camp. Shatori.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Courtney Williams. You got Vaughn Turner. Odyssey Sims.
Vaughn Turner's tough too.
Odyssey Sims. Obviously, just spoke about Lindsay and Ari, Tiffany Hayes, and Kennedy. Yeah.
Hey, that's about to be nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to say though. Good luck to all the rookies, man.
And then the other crazy part is, we gotta think about this. All teams don't make great decisions anyways, but like the trickle down effect. Mm-hmm. Some of the folks that don't make other teams, some of the folks that didn't have draft picks, were sitting there minding their own business. Here comes a nice undrafted free agent headed your way that can contribute right now.
Injury gonna play a role, but this is why we also said they got to expand. They got to start expanding. It's just too much talent that's WNBA worthy, but they're not gonna be in the league because it's a numbers game.
Yeah, they need at least 2 more teams.
And obviously start with the Houston Comets, and then we can go from there.
Yes, start with the Comets and bring back the Sting. I need both of those two.
That's fine.
Immediately. Just immediately. But like you said, the Comets is a preference. Hey, look, I hope you guys enjoyed the WNBA draft. Let us know what you guys thought about it. As always, as the WNBA season gets closer, we're going to get to going through some of these rosters and looking just at how crazy training camps are going to be. Cardell just shared with you just what the guards portion of the Atlanta roster looks like. Again, the WNBA is not like other leagues that where you get drafted, it's cool, but it's literally about who makes it out of training camp. It is literally a draft within the last 5 years where there's like one player from the first round that's still in the league.
Mm.
Like it happens. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there in that league. Like it's real. And then the other thing is, like you said, the biggest part with the chip on the shoulder, you got a lot of players, some of these just now with the CBA change and everything, some of these second-round picks just got, everything worked out for them where their second contract happened underneath this new CBA. They're not about to give up their spots. They were former second-round picks.
Like Aisha Hazal, second-round pick with the Missy. She had to wait multiple years to get her opportunity. Then when she did, she made an impact. And she fought her way to being a key player for the Mystics, right?
Yep.
Honestly, for any rookie coming in, you don't even want that smoke, with a bet like that. You know what I mean? So, because all she knows is grind. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to face, man. It is what it is. That's why, I'm glad Sabal was smart. Like, ain't no rookie making our team. Let's go ahead, give up these picks, get a bet and keep it moving because we're going to waste your time. You're not going to beat nobody out on our team.
Nah, just go ahead and say them picks for the next couple of years when, and then some things, you'll see what happens. But, some of these rosters are so solid. Like, I don't think people get it. They're solid, man. Like, again, you just talk about Maisha before we close out. That's somebody who her WNBA life consists of Elena Deladon in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Meeseman, Latoya Sanders, Crystal Thomas at times. Like, there was nothing fun about and barely got minutes. Right. And now, here's your reward. Here's Tina Charles. That's what they saw. You think when they get that big opportunity like she had in the bubble, you're not gonna make the most out of it?
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're looking forward to the season. We'll be back with you guys very soon because got a couple weeks and then we'll see exactly how everything falls. Obviously the season opens May 14th. Mystics opener is May 15th. It looks like preseason might be around May 1st, like between May 1st and May 7th. And training camps supposedly supposed to open around April 25th. But again, we will keep you guys updated and we're going to dive into these rosters and it's going to be fun. I definitely look forward to that. For Cardell and myself, y'all have a great evening.